This call is being recorded.
Welcome to the Outlook of CPU, guys. Today, Danielle and I are going to talk about what we are excited for in fall, basically. And next week is going to be a educational episode, I've decided, because since we're all coming out of COVID and we're all slowly either coming out of COVID or going back into lockdown, I am going to do research on suicide, believe it or not, and the suicide statistics, and because I know they're high, and I'll explain why I'm actually going to do that. Um, because I have I have a friend of a friend who works. The friend who works with me. She is my aide. She and she had a friend sadly commit suicide last night down here in Arizona. I'm It's a piecemeal situation right now. So I am going to look up, me being the journalist that I am, and me being me, I'm going to look up the not only the suicide number number to call if you feel in so inclined. Um, and I'm actually going to look up the statistics both for Colorado and Arizona because I want to see. I've been told that, this is public knowledge, since COVID and all this stuff began, I've been told that the numbers have gone up. And so I want to, me being me, I want to educate people on how to not only support people who are thinking about taking their own lives, but I want to give you guys the statistics as well. And so it's going to take me a day to find that out, and it may be next week or it may be the week after the next that we do it. All let's aim for next week, you guys, and then all if Danielle, if I can't do it, if my life gets a little crazified, um, I will do it the following week because I just feel like we need to break the stigma of people feeling lonely, and I will personally share stories of me feeling lonely during COVID last year, and I had the wherewithal not only to have a counselor, but have the wherewithal to have really, really supportive friends like my friend who's sitting on the other end of this phone call. And and they're the ones that pulled me through. I mean, I think we all pulled each other through COVID, and when you can see people and technology greatly helped with that, and technology is still greatly helping with that. I mean, Danielle and I FaceTime yesterday. I had another FaceTime call this morning, and even though FaceTime doesn't replace in person or it doesn't I shouldn't say that because counselors are doing fa- FaceTime now and Zoom. So I I almost stuck my foot in my mouth by saying FaceTime doesn't FaceTime doesn't replace a counselor, but yet Zoom is HIPAA compliant. So yet counselors and a phone call is HIPAA compliant. I mean, and I'll also look up for free counseling services online. So basically, yeah, next week's episode is going to be an educational episode for all parties involved. And it's going to be not so friendly kid episode because of the subject matter, but because of suicide rate, and I'm going to be doing one on suicide, one on alcoholism, and I'll explain why I'm doing the one on alcoholism when the time comes. But believe you me, do I want to be doing these episodes? No. Do I think that it's only fair as a journalist? Yes. And so, believe you me, when I get smacked in the face with it, and I'm trying to support Aid, who had a good friend do it, um, yeah, yeah, and believe you me, I wanted, I thought I'm actually a two-time attempted suicide survivor. Um, believe you me, and one was after my dad died. I tried, and then the other one was after my emotional and physical abuse by my abuser, which yeah, we can and so yeah, I've been in that spot, and I thank God had the wherewithal to get out of it. But now, since we're coming out of COVID and all going into another lockdown due to the due due to the Delta variant and mass mandates everywhere backs up again. Um, I think it's time to really face the facts of what's going on, and I'm going to try and do my best and maybe even bring a counselor on. I don't know what's going to come out of this educational lesson, but we can always be educated in those terms. And so, with that being said, we're going to switch gears and talk about a happier subject, which is what Danielle and I are excited for fall. And Danielle, do you want to go first or should I?
Uh, uh, it, it, the, the, the more don't leave in I feel
You're really excited to see fall leaves? Is that what you just
yeah, no,
what?
yeah,
The colors? I that that made my day because unfortunately I don't get to see fall leaves anymore, and unfortunately that's the that's I have to see see I miss my aspen trees. That's the only there are a couple of things I do miss about Aspen. I don't and I should do a full on episode about my reflection. Okay, you guys, after the educational lessons about suicide, about alcoholism, I'm going to do with Danielle a reflection on me being in Arizona 5 months in, 6 months. Yeah, it is 6 months because on August 19th it will be 6 months. Yeah. And so it is 6 months of me moving to Arizona. And so I am surprised Danielle said that because I miss my Aspen place, you guys. I hate to admit it, but Texas day in day out, and I've not seen fall. I miss it. And that being said, I'm really, really excited for the temperatures to cool down here. For those of you who haven't been tracking it and haven't been following my journey well enough, I now live in Phoenix, Arizona. Long story, I got an amazing housing opportunity that I couldn't turn away. And so basically, what happened is I ended up moving back in March down to Phoenix, Arizona, and now I'm trying to get a stabilized job. That's a trick and a half. That's a long story. Why I'm so it's going to be the house. Now that the house is stabilized, now it's going to be the job and integration into a um, inclusive community of Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. And so I I really, 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 really miss aspen trees. I never got sick and tired of looking at aspen trees either. So I may not miss the snow, and that's why a lot of people move down here is because they're sick and tired of the snow. But I miss the aspen trees. I am super excited for the fall to come, and I'm super excited. Not to say that I'm lonely anyway. I'm busy as a bee down there, but I'm super excited. A lot of people are coming back to me because of the heat heat subsiding. They now want to play with wind. Yeah, well, literally play with wind in Phoenix, Arizona. And so a lot of people are going to be coming back to me. And I'm really, 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 really excited to finally, after 33 years of suffering, well, ma- managing, I shouldn't say suffering because that's wrong term, managing cerebral palsy in the small town of Aspen and the small town of Glenwood Springs and doing all that junk. I'm really, really excited to get my health finally under control. Finally under control to the point where I can be at the top of my game. And I'm really, really excited to be potentially going back to school. It's my house, my job, my house, my own health, and then it's my job. So after which we'll find out more information, I'll find out more information on Tuesday. After after this whole ovarian cyst thing is over, I can actually go back to work minus the recovery of the ovarian cyst, and I will actually be at the top of my game um, as of as of September. So I'm really excited to see what the doctors can do um, down here as far as cerebral palsy and as far as me. And now I'm really excited. I'm also really excited to get involved with the Phoenix slash Scottsdale community. And I'm really excited to just be potentially going back to school and living on my own because my roommate, I told you guys my roommate may be coming back. My roommate is going to come in as a roommate, come in as a friend, but she's probably my friend working as a roommate. So she and I have a great relationship. She's the one that moves me in. Talk about okay. Talk about okay. We can get along like our house on fire. I remember her sitting in his house day one, and she did not do the initial movement. Someone else did the initial movement, but I remember her sitting in this house day one, and we had construction going on like there was no tomorrow around us. And she and I, on my behalf, are trying to fill out paperwork, and she was calm as a cucumber as construction was going on behind us. And so talk about a roommate that's already dealt with me. I have the best roommate ever, and I see that. And I love that purple water bottle. You guys, Danielle has my favorite color water bottle. And yes, and so Danielle, I think you need to take a drink before you speak again because I know that was handed to you. But I am really excited to see what the winter, and I'm quoting it, the winter brings in Arizona. I'm really excited to see what the winter brings. I know it will bring cooler temperatures, which I'm happy about. And I'm also happy to be potentially, well, still continue to be living on my own with help. And then I will be potentially going back to school and getting a job and getting my own health under control, which after 33 years of marginal health, I am really excited to see what the doctors say out here, and I will let you guys know about that, and we'll just carry on about that. But basically, Danielle and I are going to be working like mad women about with her work as Danny Doll, which she loves and they love. And so basically, and I am going to be working too in the journalism slash communications field, more in the communications field than the journalism field. But I will always be an advocate for people with disabilities, and you guys know that. And I'm really excited to see what Luna Zool is coming up with as more people move in, as Luna Zool becomes its own little community. I'm really excited to get integrated in to the Phoenix Scottsdale community. I'm really also excited to get my health under control. And so it's going to be a wild ride. It's always a wild ride, but I'm really excited to see what winter in Phoenix, Arizona has to bring. And I'm really excited to welcome with love people in my house. It's not to say that I'm lonely, because I'm not lonely, but it's really hard when when I don't know how to put this. I'll put it this way: when you're stuck inside due to it's too hot to go outside, and I'm always tend to go outside. I'm a people person. I don't like to be stuck inside. So I'm really excited to see what winter in Arizona's version of the winter brings. But I'm also really excited to get a job, a paid job, and I'm in the communications field. I'm also really excited to go potentially back to school to finish my degree. And then I'm really excited to get my health under control now that my house is semi under control, and I am doing extremely well considering the circumstances. And we, Danielle and I, appreciate the love and support. And by the way, you guys, I'm taking a drink of water because Danielle's making me thirsty wanting a drink. By the way, and so before I land up speaking, I'm taking, because, and Danielle's laughing at me because I just said a comment. But Danielle is laughing at me just because I said a comment. No, water is super mentally necessary. It's medically necessary now in Arizona, and that's the way we roll. I carry a water bottle on me into places now, and I just have to tell them it's medically necessary. So basically, what we're really excited about is fall and the beauty of fall, and it's a time of change. It's a time of change. It's a time of rebirth. It's a time of let's get this show on the road. And I'm really excited to see what Arizona has to hold for not only me, but for the people that coming down to see me and visit me. And I'm really excited to see what the fall in Arizona has to bring. And so, Danielle, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, you know, well, yeah.
Oh, what she said. Thank you for following us. What she said. Thank you for following us. And we will catch you guys next week. And next week, as I said, it's going to be the educational episode about suicide and talking about the numbers and talking about everything else related to that. And fortunately, we have to talk about that. But I think it's gonna be I know it's gonna be a good episode, and so hopefully that you guys will get yourself educated, and then we're in between the alcoholism episode and the suicide episode. I'm going to give you guys an update, or maybe how about this? We do. I've actually switched the episodes on. We're going to do suicide, alcoholism back to back. So next week, while it's fresh in my brain, we're going. I'm going to give you a personal update on the ovarian cyst, and because I want you guys to know my story about my ovarian cyst. And so, because I want you guys, because I know this, when we talked about, and this was way back when we talked about myself getting a COVID test, I don't know whether it was people searching for the word COVID or coronavirus, or I don't know whether they followed me enough to know me. And so that was one of the most downloaded episodes yet. And so I want to do a ovarian cyst episode because I know it's quite common in women for women to get ovarian cyst, and they're not as scary as you think they are, and they're painful though. But it's going to be interesting, and if I am going to I'm going to do whatever I can to. I've been watching it. I've been keeping my stress level down. And oh, by the way, Winning Cup isn't going to skip a beat. We have content, I've just been told, to January 1st, 2022. New content, mind you. That's how much work I did before I left. And knowing, so I I feel like, okay, we're fine on that. We can just do that, and I'm going to do research on ovarian cyst too to give you guys the stats. So it's gonna be an educational episode along with a personal journey episode. So the next 3 episodes are not gonna be family friendly. It's gonna be educational episodes. We have to throw the educational episodes in you guys for the sake of it. It can't be all those all the time. So we have to. So it's gonna be ovarian cyst. It's gonna be suicides, and then it's going to be alcohol abuse, and then we're going to get back to the sunshine and roses and see where we land. And so again, thank you for following us, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, you guys.
Bye.